Natalie was an average girl who unfortunately lived with a very broken family. From a very young age, Natalie was physically and verbally abused by her family. The only person she was close to within her family was her brother Lucas. She would tell him everything that she couldn't tell other people. She thought that she had her very first friend, someone to confide in. That was until he turned on her. He had sexually abused her more than once over a period of 4 years. She had lost that feeling of safety and trust. Natalie continued in school despite her life conditions. She was failing, however. During her school days, she made a friend. Her name was Mia. Not much is known about Mia's life. Natalie tried to talk to me about the things going on at home. Natalie thought that she'd finally found someone who actually wanted to help her. Mia seemed to listen to Natalie, maybe even care. That was until one day, Mia sabotaged Natalie. Mia began telling other people the secrets that Natalie had trusted with her. Other people, instead of trying to help her, began harassing her online and in person. She isolated herself from everyone and was once again alone, betrayed by another. Natalie began making art. Art couldn't betray her, and she was in control of how it was. When Natalie entered high school, she was 16. She met a boy named Chris. The two began dating, and once again, Natalie thought she'd finally made a strong bond with someone. A few months later, Chris asked to talk to Natalie after class, and so they did. Chris told Natalie that he wanted to break up with her, that he wanted to see other people. He told her this was because he was very put off by her macabre art and her negative mindset. Natalie had never told Chris about her past. This would only cause Natalie's mindset to spiral even more. She skipped class and went home. Natalie ran into her bathroom, her head spinning from the breakup and from keeping everything bottled up. She had finally cracked. She took a needle and thread from the bathroom cabinet and began to sew the corners of her mouth. Her mother walked in and caught Natalie. She never stopped her daughter, however. Natalie's mother scheduled a therapy session for Natalie. Natalie revealed to the therapist that she believed that all the abuse was time doing, that time was against her. She sent Natalie to the doctor to receive some sort of special mental drug that would seemingly help her mental state. While at the hospital, her doctor tried to calm her down by telling her the surprise procedure would help make her normal in no time. He slipped an anesthetic mask onto her, then she was brought to theatre. She was clueless that this would take place. During the surgery, things went horribly wrong. Natalie regained consciousness and was able to feel everything and move. She began coughing blood for an unknown reason. This caused her to pass out again. After she woke up in a hospital bed, the doctor who performed her surgery informed her that due to the blocked surgery, her appearance had changed a bit. She was handed a mirror and seen that one of her once hazel eyes had changed to green. She was surprisingly happy with the look. She was not, however, happy with how they treated her, just like everyone else in her life. The rage filled Natalie's mind. She wanted them to hurt as much as she did. Natalie asked to use the bathroom. She sat on the bedside and pretended weakly to fall off the bed. She used the medical cart for support to stand up. She grabbed a syringe that was on the cart and repeatedly stabbed the doctor in the neck numerous times. The commotion was heard from outside the room and the security came in. Natalie acted as if the doctor had tried to come on to her. She then pulled the same move on him as he tried to help her up to walk. Natalie ran out of her room and out the hospital door, wearing her bloody nightgown. She ran home barefoot, through the rain and roaring thunder. This didn't bother her. On reaching home, she received horrified looks from her mother, father, and brother. She closed the door and locked it behind her. She then made her way into the kitchen and armed herself with a knife. Her mind was blank, her body filled with rage. She stood, knife in hand, in front of her terrified family and said, "Your time is up." She then proceeded to stab all three of them, making sure they felt her pain, maybe even more. The room fell silent. All there was to hear was the sound of her father's pocket watch. Natalie picked it up and headed to the bathroom with it. She disassembled it, leaving only the face on it. She remembered what she had told her therapist about time. Time makes you live through torture. You slowly progress through life being controlled by society until you come to the conclusion that you have no purpose. It's a vicious circle. Time does not stop, it does not speed up, it does not slow down, it is violent. It makes you live through the torture over and over again. You are unable to escape from it. Natalie removed her left eye, and in place was her father's clock. She gave herself a new identity, someone who she knew. Her new name was Clockwork. Clockwork took gasoline from the garage and dumped it all over the house, all over the rooms that meant nothing to her. This was not her true home. She walked out of the house, leaving it and her family to burn behind her. She now continues to hunt, leaving many victims dead. She claims that she is the only one who determines when their time should come to an end. And that is the story of Clockwork. Thank you all for sticking around and listening to me. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you have a good night. Remember that you are safe and you are loved.